As Donald Trump traveled around Washington, D.C., meeting Republicans today, Democrats on Capitol Hill also got a good look at the presumptive GOP presidential nominee. One of them joins me right now, Congressman Luis Gutiérrez of Illinois. Congressman, how did you greet Trump's arrival today in terms of how you assess the new world in which you, as a member of the opposition party, are living in Congress with this as the titular head of the Republican Party?
Look, the Republicans have to simply accept that this is the party of Trump. As much as they don't want to accept the consequences of their electoral process and what they have been stewing for so long. So I gave my 5-minute speech talking about the importance and how they have even taco salads in the Senate dining room today, kind of so that we all understand when Trump arrives here, the Hispanics, like I and others, are being well received. Look, it's their party. A couple of things very quickly, it just seems to me. Paul Ryan met with him today. Paul Ryan endorsed comprehensive immigration reform in the 2005 bill when it was Kennedy McCain and Ian Flake in the House. He was a sponsor of that bill. So it seems to me that they have huge differences philosophically on that issue and so many other issues. And at the same time, the kind of hatred. Remember when the speaker stood up and said we can't show hatred towards Muslims and condemn? Look, they have irreconcilable differences. And today, I think they did the best they could to kind of say they're fixing it up. But this is the party of Trump, and it's the man they're going to have to live with. Every Republican in the House of Representatives, their new leader, the new president of their party, their chief spokesperson, is now Donald Trump. And a lot of them aren't comfortable.
Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota also joins us there in the House. And Congressman, you know, I'm really curious about your views of him in terms of, they talk about policy, right? So he has called for a temporary ban of all Muslims entering the U.S. This has been blasted by a lot of people, including basically Paul Ryan tacitly, as fundamentally tyrannical, un-American, etc. It's over 60% support in poll after poll, state after state among Republican voters. Is that the kind of thing that you're going to see your colleagues embrace?
Well, it looks like it from what the news reports have been from seeing Paul Ryan and Trump come together. They're saying nice things about each other. It's shocking because one thing after Trump's ugly Muslim ban comments came out is that Paul Ryan said that this was despicable, un-American, and wrong. So now all of a sudden, is he taking that back? I mean, integrity is important. Character counts. And if you're going to unify with somebody who has views antithetical to what you've expressed, it means that either he's changed or you've changed. My question is, which one?
Right.
I mean, I think Paul Ryan showed real character, but this particular thing is, I would expect that he would never unify with Trump after what Trump has said and done.
Congressman Ellison, I want to give you an opportunity for a victory lap because many people discounted the chances that we would get to this moment that we are now on. You're nodding your head because you know what I'm about to play, which is a clip that's been going around a bit of you on a Sunday show talking about that possibility. July 26th, 2015, right after you declare. Take a listen.
Anybody, well, from the Democratic side of the fence who thinks that, who's terrified of the possibility of President Trump, better vote, better get active, better get involved, because this man has got some momentum, and we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next week.
I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Sorry to laugh. Next week, you know, George, we had Jesse Ventura in Minnesota win the governorship. Nobody thought he would win. I'm telling you, stranger things have happened.
Congressman, you are not laughing as you were watching that clip. Your response to watching that prediction in the rearview mirror.
Well, let me tell you, I don't take any joy out of it. I wish I was wrong, quite frankly. But let me make another prediction. If we do not mobilize and organize the vote, we could see him be president. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe he will be, because I believe that people who believe in equality and inclusion will rise to the occasion. But he should not be discounted, because the level of fear, anxiety, bigotry, and prejudice that he is trying to cultivate is a potent, ugly force that has expressed itself in this country before. You know, I mean, the fact is that George Wallace had supporters, and there's a lot of pain out there, and he's trying to feed on it and nurse it, and he could whip it into a frenzy, and I don't think that people should discount the possibility of Trump winning the presidency if we do not rise to the occasion and truly reach out to every single progressive voter, independent, on all sides.
Congressman Gutiérrez, you have been probably one of the most stalwart vocal advocates of a comprehensive immigration reform. Two things in the news today, and I want to ask you how they relate. There's a Reuters piece that just crossed saying that this administration plans a deportation push focusing on women and children in May and June. I would imagine you have some strong feelings on that. And that, of course, relates to what the politics of immigration are at this moment and what the stakes are having someone like Donald Trump now who's going to be on the ballot this fall.
Look, you remember when Barack Obama in 2012 went to the Des Moines Register and said to the editorial board, yeah, Latinos are going to vote for me because the Republican Party is pushing them my way. Well, he said that in September. He was right in November. But how long do you expect that to continue to be a nurturing base of the Democratic Party when you take a community for granted? And I think that is very detrimental, both because of the human rights aspects. Look, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador are dangerous places. We are a nation that welcomes people. We stand up to the world in Syria and in Africa and say, and we challenge everybody to live up to the highest moral and human standards. And yet in our own hemisphere, we are sending people back to certain death. That's not something we should be doing. Look, what we should be doing is setting up procedures in those countries to allow, because what we know, Chris, is the following. 9 out of 10 of those that come seeking refuge actually win their asylum cases. Why do we make them go through that dangerous travail to reach here when we know that the past has told us that they have a case to be in this country?
Yeah, an important point there from the congressman, that beneath the rhetoric from Trump, there's actual real lives at stake right now with the Democratic administration, and thank you for addressing that. Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota, he's a supporter of Bernie Sanders. Congressman Gutiérrez of Illinois, who supports Hillary Clinton. Gentlemen, thank you both. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Still to come, how having Trump at the top of the ticket could hurt Republicans seeking re-election. I'll talk with a Democrat running against one of those Republican incumbents, perhaps the most vulnerable, just ahead. But first, why is the Trump campaign disavowing Trump's former butler? That truly insane story starts right after this.